What's up, everybody? It's DJ Killzown Jones once again, and I'm here with another interview with Chris from SwitchBlade Monkeys.
Nice to meet you.
Good to have you on the show, sir. And today, what game are we looking at?
Today we're playing Secret Ponchos by SwitchBlade Monkeys.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about SwitchBlade Monkeys?
Yeah, SwitchBlade Monkeys is just a group of close friends that decided to create a game. Kind of the way maybe you'd start a band. We had some friends like, hey, I can draw and I can play some music and I know how to code, and we all just came together and formed a team and tried to make a game.
Okay, so how did the idea for Secret Ponchos come about?
Basically, it was kind of started where Yusuf, the team leader, and I were playing a lot of Soul Calibur 4, and we were really obsessed with becoming like top players in that game. So we played every night, and we got to the point where we wanted to kind of mix up the audio on it. So we started putting our own audio tracks on it. One day we decided to put a spaghetti western soundtrack on while we were playing. And then we started to notice that these really epic moments would happen where kind of like the trumpet solo would come on, and I only had 5% health left, and I had like a huge comeback, and it just felt really epic. So we decided, how can we kind of blend those two styles together, like the spaghetti western feel with the feeling of like a fighting game.
So then you guys created Super Ponchos. So you got the game running over here.
Yeah, we're doing a 7-player free-for-all right now.
Okay.
So it's basically just top kills in 300 seconds. So I'm using Phantom Poncho right now, and I'm trying to hunt down the killer right here. Whoa.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the gameplay and the mechanics in the gameplay, Chris?
You bet. So every character has 2 weapons, and there's different ways to use those weapons. So right here I got my bullwhip out. Oh.
Oh, we got you.
Yeah. So I'll just respawn. Okay, so I got my shotgun. That cone that you're seeing, that's my reticle, and I can only shoot to the very end of that line.
Okay.
So I have to be really concerned with my short range, getting in and out of the action, because some of these other characters, they have a lot longer shot than I do. One way to get around that is to switch my weapons, and now I've got a whip with a way longer range than that. And we're gonna time out here, but we'll fire another one back up, and I'll show you a few more of those mechanics.
Okay. So, what's the story in Secret Ponchos?
The story is basically like a group of outlaws that for one reason or another have a bounty on their head. And all these characters are trying to become like, they want to collect the bounties and at the same time be the most badass character in the universe. So it's kind of like you got blood bets going on where if somebody like kills someone who's much higher wanted poster than them, it automatically makes that person, you see him in the saloon and you know that guy killed the biggest outlaw in the West, so he must be really badass, and he almost kind of turns into the biggest outlaw in the West, right?
So it's kind of like the spaghetti western in the fact that you got the bad guy, and then you get your Clint Eastwood type
Right.
in the town.
And for whatever reason, all these characters, good or bad, have some sort of price on their head.
Okay. So, can you tell a little bit about the like what inspired, like what movies or what games inspired other games may inspired the game, like?
Yeah, I kind of blew it on the last question. It was like any of the Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, and then fighting games like Street Fighter, Soul Calibur, games like that. Any game that it's all about the competitive nature over anything. We wanted to build a game that was really balanced, and so that even though these characters are so different with all their different archetypes, as long as you are good at that character, there's always a solution to an attack from another character, right? So let's see here. Let's try somebody different this time. We'll use the Kid Red here. So he's gonna have a lot longer range, and instead of a whip, he's gonna have dynamite sticks.
So he's like a cowboy / coal miner, right?
Yeah. His backstory is more that it's kind of like the Batman story, where his parents were killed by one of the other outlaws, and that kind of forced him into being a bounty hunter. He's out for revenge. Yeah, he's looking for the people that did damage to his family.
Okay. So what inspired? I hear the sound
Yeah.
What inspired the soundtrack? Kind of those spaghetti wrestling movies or TV shows and games and things like that?
Yeah.
Or, did you guys put your own twist on that, standard fanfare where you got the maracas and the mandalays and things like that?
Yeah,
so what inspired the sound design for the game?
I'm inspired by a lot of things. I have a really eclectic taste in music. So obviously the original spaghetti westerns as a foundation. But I'm really into ska music, hip hop, stuff like that. So luckily I kind of associate with like brass players that can help me out with the trumpet parts. And I'm really into like the kind of stuff that the RZA did with the Tarantino movies. And just tried to kind of mash that all together into its own kind of unique flavor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what system are we playing in here?
We're playing on the PS4.
Okay.
And it's been really great. It's given us the opportunity to really push everything, the lighting, the sound, the art, everything is just running really great. Because when we initially designed this game, the development has been a really long slog because our team is so small. We originally started building this game for the last gen consoles because we didn't even know that when the next gen console was going to come out. So, but then after finding out that we were going to have the opportunity to put this on the PS4, we just pushed everything up.
So how was it like working with Sony on the PS4 version of the game?
Working with Sony has been amazing. They've been nothing but supportive, letting us have full control of whatever we want to do and just really, really like helping us along the way because we're such a new team. Like we really needed that support. And it's basically the whole reason that I'm standing here talking to you today is because they've been the ones that have, like they saw this game and they were like, what can we do to get this on the PS4?
And that's nice. That's nice that they're really being hands-on and not just talking about it, but actually doing it. And you see the fruits of it right here on the floor at PAX.
Yeah, I mean, we were showing this game last year at PAX, and we had no idea where we were going or what was going to happen. And at the end of PAX, like I said, they approached us, and then in less than 6 months, they had us on stage at E3 showing the game as one of the first indie developers for the PlayStation 4. And it was just kind of this Christmas miracle that they came in and saved Secret Ponchos for us.
Okay. So what's the release schedule looking like for Secret Ponchos?
So we're just announcing now that we're going to be launching on Steam Early Access.
Okay.
And that's going to happen fairly soon in the next couple months.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is it's going to give us the opportunity to really get in touch with the community and get their feedback, get the game up to a perfect polish to put it out on the console. But it also gives us the resources and the funding that we need to release the PC version of it.
And it really, really does look promising, Chris. It looks like something that I have never seen before. Like, I mean, the way you have the characters here on the screen, they're fighting in, it's a fully realized town, but it's more like an arena.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What made you guys decide to go with the top-down perspective instead of like the 2D side-to-side, side-scrolling areas?
Yeah.
Or the fully 3D world, from other games.
It was just kind of an interesting decision. Like it's like you said, there's just small little changes that kind of turn it into this whole new beast. And I don't want to keep going back to Soul Calibur and all that kind of stuff, but we realized in that game a lot of that game has to do with the spacing of the characters and being able to know how far apart you need to be to actually land your hit. And we said to ourselves, what would happen if we took that kind of style and just move the camera up? Because then you can really get a view of how that spacing is working. And we also did that because it just seemed kind of like a combination of things that just hadn't been done up till this point.
Yes, I've never seen a game of this magnitude with all these different styles and of gameplay and different gameplay mechanics, Chris, really formed together. So this title really, really looks promising. And I thank you for having me here at you guys today at PAX East.
Oh, thanks so much. It's been great talking to you.
All right. This is DJ Killzown Jones, and I'm with Chris from SwitchBlade Monkeys, and we're signing off from PAX. Peace, everybody.
Real gamer news.
DJ Killzown Jones, better remember the name. DJ Killzown Jones, better remember the name.